The principles guiding the development of SB 9, which is the Trade Corridor Improvement Fund, are really twofold. One is we obviously want to enhance the movement of goods throughout the state. But at the same time, we want to ensure that we reduce emissions associated with goods movement and that we improve the public health. Ideally, what would be nice is that every project in a region or regionally, every project would reduce emissions associated with the development of that project. But if we can't do an ideal situation, at a minimal level, when we look at projects, there should be no net increase in any emissions that are associated with that project. And at the same time, we wish to make sure that we do enhance goods movement and relieve congestion. Well, first, let's understand that according to the state's Air Resources Board, that 30% of the NOx, which is the nitrous oxides produced in the state, which are a pollutant, are due to goods movement, and almost 75% of the diesel particulates, the PM 2.5 and PM 10s, are due to goods movement. So we have a tremendous amount of pollution that's generated, and that pollution turns into public health issues. We have 2,400 premature deaths that are due to that pollution a year in goods movement. We have, at the same time, over 1 million absences from school due to goods, that is tied to goods movement and diesel particulates. And we have over 300,000 lost days of work. So we have tremendous public health impact due to goods movement. On the other hand, we have this tremendous growth that's also occurring. We have seen the ports of Long Beach and Los Angeles increase by 40% their throughput in only the last 4 to 5 years. We've seen Oakland now projecting to double their throughput. So we are experiencing tremendous growth, which has led to severe congestion of our highways. And so what we have to do is to make sure is that we build this infrastructure, that we don't lead to more public health crises, that we begin to reduce the public health crises. So what we need to do is to make sure that every project that we fund does not contribute to the air quality problems, but actually either make sure that there is no net increase in air pollution, but really ideally reduces the emissions that we're presently facing. And that way we can meet both goals of both improving congestion and also reducing pollution. SB 19 identifies the 5 major sources of pollution that are associated with goods movement. And it tries to correct these by targeting those. So, for example, the 5 sources are: 1, the ships that come into port, we're going to use electrification to plug them in. Once they're there, much of the containers are placed upon trucks. Thousands and thousands of these trucks need to either be retrofitted or replaced because they're spewing out dirty diesel particulates. Then we have all the harbor craft engines. They need to be replaced and brought up to new standards. Then we have all the cargo handling equipment that moves the goods. They need to be replaced. And then the 5th source of pollution is the rail system. And there, the major source are the switching locomotives in the rail yards. We need to replace all those with the newest equipment. If we can do that, we can reduce the pollution tremendously and bring the goods movement industry and the goods movement process consistent with our clean air attainment. So we really have to do that, and that's what the bond starts to do, to provide the resources to begin to replace these 5 sources. It is very important that the legislature specify the conditions under which the air quality funds can be spent. The reason why it's so important is that we must make sure that those that are applying for the funds to clean up the air that's associated with goods movement have a comprehensive plan, and that the funds that they're applying for are consistent with the plan that they have. And so that's the first condition. You can't apply for the funds unless you have a real comprehensive plan that demonstrates to the Air Resources Board that you will be able to clean up the air. And the second thing is we have to demonstrate that whatever money that you're asking for, that there's demonstrable evidence that it reduces the air emissions and the pollution. So those are 2 things. You have to have a plan, and you have to demonstrate that what you're asking for actually reduces the pollution.